begin our program here, it pleases me greatly to introduce the man, Honorable Irving Lawrence Country, to lead us in prayer.
And we look forward to the reality that is among us during this moment. Father God, even if, Lord, we are faced with many uncertainties in our country, even if, Father, there may not be available opportunities for your people to live comfortably, Lord, we still love our country. We love Dominica, Lord. Pray Dominica's deliverance. Father God, we ask you to bless each person present here. Pray, dear Lord, that we will talk together, we'll discuss together, we'll learn from each other during this discussion. Have your way. And be among us. In His name we pray. Amen.
Thank you very much, Honorable. By way of introduction, I am Lord. Pleasure to welcome us to the Diasporas Party as visiting diasporas. We, as a party, have sort of done this every year so as to inform the visiting diasporas what the plans of the United Workers' Party are, how we intend to govern when we win the next general election, and the benefits that everybody is going to gain when we form the next government. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you the political leader of the United Workers' Party, Dr. Thompson Fontaine, to address us.
Thank you, and good morning to everyone. It is good to have all of you here with us this morning. With a little bit of an engagement, it's important, I believe, for us to talk to you, and for those that are joining online. I know a number of persons are already joining the live feed, and we expect more persons to continue to show up this morning. I wanted, as we begin, to let's start by thanking all of you for being here with us as we seek to talk, to discuss with you on the issues that are affecting Dominica. It will also provide us with an opportunity to share with you, visiting Dominicans and those overseas, to share with you the vision that we have for Dominica. I'm sure most of you would have heard of rumors around a snap election in December, and I'm sure you have questions about our participation or not participation, if that were the case. I'm sure you have questions about the state of the economy. So for the next hour or so, we plan to just engage in a conversation. And of course, we'll also be taking the comments online. If you have any issues online, I know there are a few people who contacted me and said that they were listening online in particular to hear about what it is that we plan to do as a party. Now, Let me just say that we are committed as a United Workers' Party to bring change to Dominica. It is clear that this government has lost its way in terms of the governance of the country. And for those of you who are visiting, as you look around you, you can see for yourself. I'm sure you will make contact with the ones who talk to you, tell you about what they have actually seen. I'm sure individuals have probably approached you, probably for help and so on. You know, we have a situation in this country where the economy has been almost collapsed, and in a state of collapse. A number of persons who are literally falling off the edges, persons who cannot make ends meet, an increasing level of poverty and also desperation. The situation in this country where people are increasingly desperate. And in the midst of all this, we see government that does not care for the people of the country, government that is concerned more about taking care of their own needs as it is that. So the choice is simple. It is the people of Dominica versus this particular regime, and in particular, ruthless scary, because when you talk about the regime, I'm sure if I were to ask any of you here who is the Minister of Agriculture or the Minister of Public Works, you will not know who. I confess, I don't know who the Minister of Agriculture is. But years ago, you would ask who is the Minister of Agriculture. Everybody would know who the Minister of Agriculture is. Everybody would know who the Minister of Public Works is, because these people would be out there advocating on their particular areas. So I think it's a situation of the people of Dominica versus Roosevelt Skerrit. And you know, this week I was in conversation with Matt on the radio, and he asked me about the possibility of a snap election. And I said the only reasonable conclusion that one would reach, if there's going to be an election, is that it has to do with the personal issue of the Prime Minister. Because if you're going to have an election, it could be that this election, if you're going to have it, that this election is to increase the majority, or if there is some situation in the country that you want the people to weigh on, they will do that. But that is not the case. In Dominica, as a government with 19 out of 21 seats, that is a government that is very much in control, if you like. So if there's going to be an election, it has to be because this Prime Minister has reasons that only he knows why he would want to have an election without reform. Because this is a promise that he made to the Dominican Republic, that he would engage in reforms. We remember the CCJ, the Final Court of Justice in 2019, warning this country not to engage in any election without electoral reform. It was in 2019. Since then, we've had an election, and we're talking about another election going forward. So this is a situation that is very concerning for all of us. This complete refusal to do electoral reform, and that is something that we will be addressing. We plan to have a press conference next week, Monday, where we will be addressing the issue of this pending or rumor, and I say rumor, snap election. Now, we are not in the habit of responding to rumors. We will not ordinarily hold a press conference on the basis of rumors. But the fact of the matter is the Prime Minister has failed to dispel those rumors. He was given a chance by Curtis Matthew on PBS Radio to actually say something directly down to the public, and he chose not to. Instead, he seemed to be suggesting that he's moving ahead. And so in that background, we'll be meeting, we'll be discussing those issues specifically. Let me just in the next few minutes just talk about our vision, as I think is what we are interested, we're definitely interested in as a diaspora. We see the Dominican diaspora playing a very critical role in the development of Dominica. We believe that with the resources, both human and other resources that we have in the diaspora, that we can bring those to appear in Dominica in a way that we can lead to the development of this country. I know and I want to thank all of you Dominicans who continue to support your families. The Barry economy is still very much alive in Dominica. I know we work hard overseas, sometimes in the cold, sometimes 2 or 3 jobs to support the families here in Dominica. The Barry economy is very much a part of it, but we want to go beyond the Barry economy. I think that there is a lot of room for additional initiatives that we can undertake together. And as the United Workers' Party government, we'll be looking to develop those initiatives. We're looking, for example, at extending into banking. As you know, we have a banking crisis in Dominica. You must have heard of persons that are having difficulty to access their monies because there's only one bank. And if all of a sudden you have hundreds of persons trying to withdraw from that same bank, and the system has already shutting itself down. I think that is what is going on now, because you have only one bank, literally one bank in Dominica now, where we can withdraw from the other bank, the national bank. You have to use your own cards. So if you have a Visa or some other card, MasterCard or whatever, American Express, it's difficult. And that is because of the shrinking of our banking sector. So that is one area as the government will seek to improve with the support of the returning Dominicans or Dominicans living overseas. In addition, the United Workers' Party is committed to the development of the agriculture sector. We believe that agriculture should remain the backbone of this country. You know, when Moses was leading the children of Israel out of the desert, and then, God asked him what he had. He said, all I have is a rock, that's what I have. That is what has always been with me. My rod. He said, okay, we're going to use that rod to get people through to the Red Sea. Similarly, I think for Dominica, if God were to ask us, what do we have? We say agriculture, fertile land. Like everything is green, everything grows, everything produces. And we will change a has-been industry to the #1 industry that employs people, our farmers firstly. We'll get more people involved in farming. I was talking on Sunday to one of the exporters, major exporters of produce out of Dominica. And she was indicating to me that she cannot get produce, she cannot get enough. Market people, she said the market is such that they are waiting, although they get supplies from the Dominican Republic and other countries, but in Antigua, in St. Martin, in Anguilla, they say they're waiting for the Dominican produce. Whenever it is there, it displaces the other produce because it is just not the same. Dominican produce has an authenticity because of the soil, because of what God has blessed us with. So I believe that agriculture will be one of the major things that we will be focused on as a party to not only employ the persons in rural areas, but also there is a very strong argument for agriculture. 70% of the population lives in the rural areas. And so it means that if you develop the agriculture product, that takes care of 70% of the population already. So it makes it easier for the other sectors to come in and pull the slack. Our another major concern and focus will be on the young people of this country. We believe that our young people have been neglected. Our young people have been forced to run as quickly as they can overseas. The majority of young persons, they tell you, the first chance that they get to leave, they would leave. And so I think it's important for us as a party focus on the young people. I think this is very important for us to bring opportunities to them. And there are opportunities that will and can be used. And so focusing on the young people, focusing on agriculture, and then developing our various service industries. We believe that we can do a lot in terms of the area of services. So, but I just wanted to highlight today this focus on agriculture that will be the cornerstone of any United Workers' Party administration going forward. And I talk about the United Workers' Party administration because I'm of the firm belief that we are at the point where the people of Dominica are in full rejection mode of this government. Say it again. The people of Dominica are in full rejection mode of this government. And that could be what is generating this talk of election. Because this government realizes that the people of Dominica have rejected them. I've been talking to people in the various parts of Dominica, persons that you would never expect to say a bad word about the government. They are now complaining. They are now even ready to say openly. And they say, you can go and say, you can go and tell whoever it is, but this is my position. And so this is not a casual thing. I think it is deep, it runs deep. It is a number of persons, and I think we have reached what we call critical mass. Enough persons who have turned away from the support of the government and thrown their support behind the United Workers' Party to ensure that we can form the next government. So what it is that we are able to offer an alternative that the people of Dominica can believe in. Ours is one that embraces everybody. Okay, that when I look at Dominica, I never see a blue Dominica or red Dominica or green Dominica. I see everybody as a Dominican who has a part to play. And you in the diaspora, you have an equal part to play in order to, like I don't think of you as overseas necessarily. I think of you as a Dominican family who really want to see this country develop. You know, last night I had a chance to talk to a number of persons, and if I spoke to 20 people, probably 15 of them were saying that they want to come back. They said, yeah, we are all here working, but we want to come back to Dominica to either build or to do something or to contribute. So we believe with that happening, we can make a huge difference. And why I am pushing this diaspora engagement and moving beyond just the barrier of the economy. Big economies, like China, like India, these big countries are where they are today because the diasporas return to develop those countries. Right? China broke through when Chinese who had gone to the United States, gone to Europe, gone to the UK, came back with skills. They could speak the English language fluently, came back with their training and went into business and developed those countries. The same thing for India. It is Indian techs who studied in the United States who come back and set up businesses in India. And every year the Indian economy is employing hundreds of thousands of people because of persons who return. So I believe we can have a similar one, yes, on a much smaller scale, but to have Dominicans who can make that kind of contribution to develop Dominica. Because 60,000 people, after all, is not a lot of people. A lot of, you know, talking about hundreds of thousands of jobs, 1,000 jobs. And one of the things that I can guarantee the people of Dominica is that the United Workers' Party government will be focused on job creation. That is very, very important. We will not have a model as this government has of handouts. I believe that is the most destructive thing that you can do, not only to the people, but to their psyche. When you begin to have a red clinic, when you begin to make people understand that, you know, one of the things that, let's make this point. I remember when we campaigned in 2014, I spent a lot of time talking about the red clinic. In every meeting that we had, I talked about the red clinic because I saw a very dangerous trend developing where persons who once used to be farmers, persons who once used to get up at 4 in the morning, make their little cup of tea, fry their bakes and so on, and go to the gardens, they would now get up at 6 o'clock and dress to come from town to find the financial sector. I always thought that this was going to have a very damaging impact on Dominica. But I could not imagine how far reaching it would have been. That was 10 years ago, we were warning about this, but I could not imagine how far that cycle of far that has impacted the people of Dominica. And so it's about the psyche of our people that we need to change. It's about the expectations of our people that we need to change. It is about ensuring that we can really change that mindset and create more and better opportunities for the people of Dominica. So As I said, I'm excited that we can have this conversation this morning. And I just want to open it up. Lord, I've given you a glimpse into where our thinking is, what our focus is. It is about engaging all of Dominicans. It's about focusing on development of our people. It is about creating jobs. It's about creating an economy. But before we do all of that, we have to win an election. And so your support is crucial in that. You can always talk to your families. The best ways to do this is to talk to your families about supporting the Workers' Party. Talk to your families about giving us the kind of support that we need. And we can do it. It is possible. I tell people that in 2014, we lost the election by 610 votes. 610 votes. That's how much we lost by. So when we counted, we got 6 seats. When we counted the 5 seats that we came close to winning, the total amount was 610. But that's not a lot. That is not a lot of people to convince. 610. I'm sure by now we're more double or triple that amount. So I think we're in a very good place to win, but we need your support to do it. We need your financial support. We would ask persons, of course, to continue to contribute to this support. We need resources, especially if we have an election in advance. We need your support financially to help us do that. And so we are excited this morning about what the future holds for Dominica. We're excited about your support, excited about the support of Dominicans, and we're just looking forward to that day when we're able to deliver, when we are able to get to that point and see Dominica flourish, see Dominica develop, see Dominica create opportunities for our people, so that we have a net inflow into Dominica. Put people coming back to Dominica to work because there'll be good paying jobs that they can come back to and they can enjoy this beautiful paradise that we have. So thank you again for coming, and we're just going to open up for any questions or comments that you might have. Thank you. Everybody?
One of the things that happened in 2022, I came and I went to the National Bank because I see National Bank. So I want to go in there and put my US dollars in there. So when I went to the bank, they tell me that I could only change $200 because I don't have an account. I get so mad at that. I went to Republic Bank and I actually give the exchange in US. Tell me, yes. I say, how much can you change? The amount you have. So if it is a law that you cannot change a certain amount of money in banks in Dominica, or Republic Bank can change the amount and our national bank cannot change. And that is one of the problems that we have. Now my sister is here with me from Canada. And she needs money and she cannot use a card to get more than 300 EC dollars from Republic Bank. She cannot get no money from National Bank in Dominica. And that is a shame. And we ask people to come every year, come. But what are you doing for us when we come? Nothing. Now, one of the biggest problems that we have here in Dominica is healthcare. And I wonder where that will be. There is no wealth without health. And that's the problem that we have. I come here, I had a rental, and I rented a hole in Massac, and it cost me $190 to buy a new tire, brand new tire, to buy the rental car, have the tire, and we are saying that things are good. I really don't know, I'm not saying that things are not happening, but the way it's supposed to be is happening too many in patches, and as we were talking about, that we might have an election in December, I myself am wondering, I'm living in St. Martin, and we have snap election in St. Martin, but it is not because of the system that we have in Dominica. We have a system in St. Martin whereas you have 11 seats in Parliament. If you use one, you're out, and we have to call it snap election. But we have another situation in Dominica. I'm wondering, why do we have to have election like this? Every time like this? And I don't know. Dominica is my country, never change. I always love Dominica, but we need to do better. Where do we come from? But we need to do better. And we as Dominicans living in foreign, we are doing the best that we can. I have my mother that is sick. My sister is taking care of my mother in the district. And we are not getting a cent from government. But there is people that is taking care of their family, their mother, their father, and they get paid. So if it is okay for one person to get it, go ahead, do it for everyone. Don't do it for a set of people and not for another set. And these are one of the things that are happening. I will never send not a grain of flour for Dominicans when a natural disaster happens. Not a grain of flour, I'm not saying. Because of what I saw after Erica. There was food in the police station. And it had weevils, rats, roaches in the police station. And police officer said, I don't want that food in my police station. Take it out. And the same people that supporting the government did not come and help us on National Day of Community Service because they were fighting for that food. In the police station, a pallet of water dropped on my foot in St. Martin when I was packing things to send them to Dominica. And when I come down to Dominica, I'm seeing what is happening. And it is a shame. When something happens, natural disaster will happen, I will send things from my family. They can give to whoever they want. But to say, send a package for Dominicans, sorry, I will never do it. And there is a lot of us in foreign countries that is saying the same thing. Another thing that is happening, I can remember I listened to some politicians talking about foreigners leaving, they haven't got paper, they haven't got this, they haven't got that. But that is the same people you're asking when something happens to Dominica. Same for us. You don't know where that person is living, but you're asking the person, send something for you. Send for us. You want this, you want that. But you, because you feel that person is not supporting you, you're coming out and say that, hey, they haven't got paper, look at where they're living. They haven't got a job, they're begging people. These are the same Dominicans you're asking to send things so you do something. But I don't know. I hope and I pray that things get better in Dominica. But to be honest, I'm not seeing light in the end of the tunnel.
I have 3 topics I want to talk. First, I'll introduce myself. My name is Olujide Olu, formerly Original Son of Scotland. I spent 40 years in the UK, but I share my time now between the UK and Dominica. I live in Scotland, I still live in the same house where I was born, and I've just completed renovations, which I'm very proud of. Now, I have seen a change in Dominica recently, and that is to do with the quality of products and the packaging of products. It's an area that I'm very interested in because in terms of my backstory, I was once a cosmetic chemist. I was also an IT person, and I've got now in Dominica involved in property development and other stuff like that. So I take a keen interest in cosmetics, and we have quite a bit of it around. I look at the packaging, I look at the printing, because that's the way I was trained. So there is a movement towards greater standards. So I'll come to the first question to the DWP. One of the problems I envisage the people are having is being able to market their products in Dominica because we have a very small population and we just do not have the purchasing power here. For instance, I was in Barbados a very long time ago, and a man, before I went to Barbados, a gentleman ran into me and told me, buy this copper bracelet. He sold it to me for $7. I bought it, and I went up to Barbados and spoke to some people while there. I was there for a week. And the man told me, I can sell those. A man who sells those things on this side of the street. He gave me a price. I came back to Dominica, told the people I think I can sell those products. Went back to Barbados and sold a quarter of it. I didn't sell all of it because I left the rest at home inadvertently. So when I go back to Barbados in January, I'm sure I'm going to sell all of it. So there is a market, not only in Barbados, but at least in Barbados, for Dominican products which are now being produced at a higher standard than I've ever seen them before. So the question to UWP is, how are you going to ensure that those products find the markets both in Dominica and in the regions? I'm not even talking about the rest of the world at the moment. I'm only concentrating on the region. That's the first question. I have two other things to talk about. No, I will prefer that you deal with that. It's up to you. Your chair, please. If you want me to deal with all three, fine, okay. Now, the second subject, well, I'll go to the third because I can't, when the third I can't remember the second. So I'll go to the first subject, and the first subject concerns conservation, which is an area close to my heart. And it concerns the NAP, and also the town council workers. Now, we all know what the NAP do. They clean the sides of the road, and they butcher a lot of the plants, whether they're good plants or bad plants, because they do not know what's good or what's bad. And I believe that UWP, when they come into power, should have a good opportunity in converting the NAP into a corporate body. And the money is available. If you go and talk to the Germans, I'm sure they will give assistance. Turn it into a corporate body and turn the NAP staff into conservationists. You'll have to change the job titles, you'll have to pay them extra money, but that you can do later. Now, one of the major tasks would be composting. And I do composting now religiously, and I've not been doing it for that long. I've been doing it for about a month. My home has never been so clean. What used to take me or my helper 6 hours to do in the past, we do in 2 hours, the whole house, and it's not a small house. It's clean, and by then I clean, it's swept and mopped, and everything is done in 2 hours, whereas we used to do it in 6 hours. That's because we're composting domestic waste. And I have a composter at the back of my house. And you're free to come and see it, and to see the system that's set up. What I can do, a simple man, everybody in this room can do, and every Dominican knows what the house can do, provided they have the space with the composter. So I have the 2 composting systems which I use, domestic composting, household stuff, and what I call garden composting, where when I do my garden, I take all, and show how many people do it. I take all my plants, and then you put it in a special place like a thing, and do his business. So I think there's a good opportunity for an incoming, if the idea has not been stolen already, for an incoming UWP government to look into turning the NAP workers into conservationists, changing their job description, give them appropriate job descriptions. The money is available somewhere, get the money, and then do that thing properly. One dividend, one benefit is solid waste. Their load of rubbish, I estimate, would reduce by at least 40 to 50%. That is a great benefit. That's money we're talking about. So that takes care of that one. The third thing I can't think about at the moment, but by the time it's spoken, it will come back to me.
My name is Alpha Schlegford. I live in New York, but my family is from my side. So my last visit to Dominica was in 2022. And what a difference when I came in from to Dominica, that was 2 Sundays from, I was deeply surprised. I heard of so many things because my radio station actually is Q95 and I listen to everything, and that's how I know everybody's voice and name. And like at first I'm like, I can't believe Dominica is like that. It cannot be the Dominica that I know. But traveling to Asak, the ride was bad, the roadside, the road, and I goes, where is the public works department? And they go, no, it's Chinese that does everything. And I'm like, Chinese doesn't know Dominica like the public works department. My stepdad used to work there, and he was a constructor on construction on the road, and they did better roads. So what is wrong? Why do they patch with stones? And oh my God, he was like, do I go to Rosa from there after I saw that? So on Monday I said, okay, I'm gonna go to Rosa to see what it's like. And to my surprise, I was like, I don't think I want to come back. So I had all my plans coming to see what's going on, all the Creole things. I went the first day that they opened, and actually I walked in there and I just was amazed at the amount of people that was there. Nobody's buying, and only the bands, and I could check the amount of people that was there, and I'm like, okay, the first day should be more exciting. I sat there waiting on my cousins until about 6:30, and nothing actually moved me. I didn't like the music that they were playing. I didn't find anything interesting about it. So here comes walking on the roadside. I have to be actually falling and I'm moving. I'm like, where's the sidewalks? What happened? And I'm like, why would I bring people to come visit a Dominica that looked like that? That is not the same place that I knew. It's nice and green, but nothing is really happening in this country. But let's just wait. So my box came through. Yeah, and then they text my daughter and say, your box is here. So I called them and I said, when can I pick up my box? They say, I'll call you back. To this day, I have not received a call from them. So I had to be making the calls, and then finally I called yesterday and they says, oh yes, you can pick it up. Okay. I went to pick it up. First started there with $30 whatever, and I'm like, okay. Went there and I said, my brother-in-law is with me, and he says, can I go in? They says, no, you're not allowed. I said, why? Oh, it's only one person that can pick it up. So I said, I have my reason for going, which I'm going to tell you guys in a while, my reason for wanting to go in there. They said, well, no, you can't, you have to sit there. So I sat outside for hours waiting, and then my brother-in-law came and he goes, give me $250, and I'm like, okay, for what? He says, oh, you think that's what the box is going to cost? I say, but it's only food in there to give away, so why am I paying that? Yes, when he came back, on the 250, he gave me about $5 and the 3 cents just to pick up food. And I'm like, okay, you guys asking people to come. They're bringing things for people and we are charging so much for a box of groceries. But my reason for wanting to go in there is because when I came in 22, they took most of my stuff from the box. My daughter came in 24 February, and the same thing happened. She's like, okay, I had 3 cases of this, 3 cases of that, 2 cases of that, but I'm only finding 2 and 1. And so that was my reason for going in. So really and truly, they charge a lot for the boxes, but they take the stuff from the boxes. So what's the reason for sending things to Dominica? Because when Erica came, they were asking, and we went out and did so many things. I had my job give me medical stuff and everything. I went out and buy cases and cases of water and all these things. And I'm asking my sister, did you receive anything? Just to tell me no, because I'm not red, I'm blue. I'm like, what's the difference? It's to give. And to this day, she has never received anything. I am saying, I'm really, really disappointed coming home. And if I had no family in Dominica, my only reason to come back would be changes. Because my mom has a home that she left for us, and the house is closed down. Because we don't want to be there when everything we have, are we really, or do we really have 365 rivers that we pay so much for water? I don't understand the thing that is going on in this country. And we have someone calling themselves the world boss. But the world boss is doing nothing for his people. So why do you want us to come in a country that has gone so low, the lowest I have ever seen in my entire life? And every day I say, thank you, Lord. You knew why you took my mom that early, because they would never be able to make it in a country like this. I am saying once again, I'm disappointed in walking into Toronto, seeing all the garbage. What is going on? Is this really a town? It can't be. And after looking at Roseau, I really do not want to go to Portsmouth because they say it have jobs, and I'm saying, okay, I'm going and pack and come to Dominica to work because Dominica is creamy. But I am in Dominica and I don't see no cream, not at all. So where is the creamery? Where are the jobs? You walk around and people is, hey, can I have $1? Can I have? They're always asking for something. But you on wearing a shoe for $3,000? Where did you get that money from? The money belongs to Dominicans. Use it on them, not on you. And it doesn't matter, red, white, blue, or whatever it is. It's for Dominica. It is. So why do you spend it? Then again, I do not want to talk about the Chinese because I get upset. I don't like to listen to them. And because of that, I go to stores and if it says China, if I'm lying, God take me right now, I do not buy it. Nothing from China. Because when I look and hear what's happening in Dominica, and they have everything going from them, the Dominican people cannot get a job. They have dumpers. And you bring in more to Dominica, and you leaving your people in poverty. Why should I come and give you my money? I will. disappointed and disgusted to see what Dominica looked like. I went to La Plaine and I'm looking at all the banana trees and I'm like, look at this. We can import these things. We can make banana chips, so many things. Give the young people jobs. They all sitting. Every time I walk by the roadside, it's the young people sitting by the road. No jobs. No jobs. And it only brings tears to my eye to see a country that I love so much is going down to the gutters. So I'm asking the UWP, when and what do you have planned for Dominica? I want to see myself coming back to Dominica. I want to see Dominica running, and I want to see things going for the young generation. Because right now, I see nothing for them. And it saddens my heart to walk capital called Roseau. It looks like, I will not say more, but very much I will say to the fullest, very much.
My last point I'm about to make it. But before I do so, I need to respond to almost the last sentence the lady on my left made concerning the youth. And what I'm going to say was told to me by a Labour Party strategist who just probably spoke too much. And what he said to me was that, first of all, said to me, there is not going to be an early election. And he said to me, Scary has never changed his strategy. His strategy has always been a December election or 2 years before elections to open the floodgates and the money pours. People who, the labor rights who have left the camp temporarily, once the money starts to flow, return. He also went on to tell me that for UWP to compete, you will need at least $1.5 million. So that is by and by. That was not the point I was going to make. But my third point is this. I am a community activist. I am not a politician. My wife, may so rest in peace, who died 5 years ago, intended running for Grand Bay in 2018, but passed. I would have supported her, but I'm not a politician. I've never been involved in politics. I have been involved in community activities, and at 70, I have no intention of getting involved in national politics. But I do love this country, and I love it dearly, just as the lady on my left said. I love the country. There are many of us who really love our country, and we will sacrifice for it. But we're happy with what we're seeing in Dominica, and I mentioned earlier about the products that are being produced and there are no markets for them. And no markets means no jobs. Now my concern is I keep my ears close to the ground and I talk to a lot of people. And the feedback I'm getting from people is that the current leader, people are willing to give him a chance, meaning that they are willing to vote for him, whether they are UWP or not. But they're also very concerned about what they perceive as a division within the leadership of UWP. And I'm going to say as I hear it. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I know most of the people in UWP, although we have not really fraternized at the level, but we have spoken. And the way I see it is that, and while I'm speaking, I'm looking at my dear friend who I listen to. It's almost as if I'm speaking lightly. And what I see is that, I'm not going to mention numbers, but I'm going to say that there's some within the leadership of UWP who appear to be frustrating the process of a UWP government coming to power. And the leader on my left, we heard what she said, yes, it's so true. And that's a lady I'm not spoken to until I heard her today. That must not be so, because that is not good politics for the WP. That is not good politics for the country if we say we really love it. And if we say we really love this country, and I hope those who are here listening to me, please listen to me. If we say we love this country, let us throw our weight behind the current leader, Competence. All of us. Let us throw our weight behind Competence so that we give you the opportunity to become the next Prime Minister.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ilian Vidal. I'm from Salisbury, New York. Before I came to Dominica, I sent my stuff down. And I was told that it would reach before I came here because I told them that I was traveling and the stuff I needed was in that box. And they told me, yes, the stuff reached in Dominica and I could not get my stuff. And I mean, on the 14th, it was supposed to reach before the 14th. I went to the office and they told me that they have no control over everything because it's the ports. They're waiting on the ports and they have no idea what is the problem on the ports. When I went to get the box yesterday, as the lady said, I could not go in because only one person can go in. And when I went in there, I had the box and I have the picture of the box. A lot of stuff was taken from the box. Because the box is there for a while and it's open and the people they are working and they take stuff from people's feet. And that is not fair. I came here and when we reached in Melvin Hall, there was only one plane, only one aircraft, and I had to wait 1 hour just to get my suitcase. Because it's not like New York, there are several places, they said, oh, you guys keep on complaining, you live in the city, in the States, and you guys wait a lot. Yes, we wait a lot because there are so many aircrafts. But only one aircraft, and I had to wait 1 hour just to get 2 suitcases. And then I went to the immigration. And something that was very surprised that the same immigration form, they still give you the immigration form to full. I didn't know you could get it online, but I said, you guys still do that? They told me yes. I went to the immigration officer, I said, good afternoon. I didn't get no response. It's like, I am not the cause that you guys are suffering in the situation you are. I said, hello, you guys in the airport, you're supposed to welcome your visitors. But that is not no welcome. It was terrible. It was terrible. I want to come back to my country, but in the situation Dominica is in, I am here, I cannot use my card. And not use my card to get more what I need to do. I went to the credit union, in some money, they need my ID, they need my social, they need my, and I said, what is going on? I left the book here, I just want to upgrade my book and know what's going on, and I wanted my book back. I had to pay for the book, $30, and they wanted my social, I said, no, I cannot give you my social security. I did not open the book with my social security, because my daughter came 2 years ago, and she was so angry, she had to close the account. So, I told them I can only open, okay, if I want to take a loan in your credit union and I'm not living here, it's okay, fine. I can give you all my information because I'm not living here, so you need to know how you guys are going to get your money. Anyway, the person told me that, okay, well, give me your ID and then I will upgrade the book for you. I give them my ID and my passport. I upgraded the book. They want to know how much I'm going to send. They want to know how much I'm getting. I say, I can't do that. That is my book, my money. I send when I want. I can't tell you how much I'm going to send. So somebody was there, they was telling me, sell them $50. $50. I said, okay. It's $50. But I can't tell you how much I'm getting. I can't tell you where I'm working. I don't understand all these things because when I left Dominica was like that. And I passed through Alibishi to, I went from Portsmouth to go down to Salisbury, and oh my God, the road is terrible. I pass in, I'm seeing 5 Chinese, 1 Dominican. And I see something very different, very strange. That they are they're plastering the road, and there's something like a white sheet. I say, what's going on? What are they covering it for? I don't know. But there are 5 Chinese and 1 Dominican working on the road. And I say, that's very terrible. That is very, very terrible. And I'm not saying things are not expensive everywhere, but you can take care of yourself up there. You can take care of yourself, because I'm up there with my kids and I can do whatever I want to do. I can take care of myself. I can do that. But coming here and buying stuff, I went to the KFC. I buy for my daughter-in-law and my granddaughter. And when I went to the cashier, they told me $75. I had $75 for what? What did I buy for $75? A little bit of French fries in my hand, a cup of juice, and 2 pieces of chicken. All are the same thing, $75. I need to come back. I want to build, but not going off with it. I will not build. I'm waiting. So I'm waiting on the UW people and see what they are doing. The election is. I heard about the election. I saw some stuff they were sending for them about the memorabilia and stuff, the T-shirts and the hats and the bottles and stuff. So I want to know what is going on. And as the guy said earlier on, the help, if they want help for Dominica, I will never. Maybe God will punish me. But to be working so hard and selling things for people and supporting that, put them in misery in them, no, I can't do that. Do that. So I'm depending on the United Workers Party. I came on the 14th. I'm leaving on Monday. I can't. No. I would like to know what's going on. You guys have my name, my number, so let me know what's going on. So when it's changed, then I can come down and do it. But until then, no.
I was the second person online, and I got there at 8:30 in the morning because my sister told me it's a wait. I couldn't believe that. It was a wait. And I'm there waiting. But came, 9:30 came, and I'm like, one lady is taking so long because her nails is so long that she can't. And I'm like, I'm looking at her and I'm like, she can't move her mouth. And I'm like, okay. Another thing I was disappointed about was the hospital. I do not call it a hospital. I always call this place the check-in, can check-out hotel. Because anytime, I always say to my dad, my stepdad, "You're so lucky you went twice and you came out." I said, thanks God, it's our prayers that did that. Because I have never heard really of someone that goes in for the simplest thing and they don't make it out. Why? Why does a hospital was state of the art? And when they said I expected to have everything, I went to visit my dad there, and he was sad to tell me, I do not want to come back because I'm in the bathroom. I'm going to wash my hands, and the water from the pipe to bathe is running the whole floor. And I'm like, what's going on? Why is that? Went to talk to a nurse to find out what's going on with my dad. I need to know. You did a scan for so long. Where is the result? A bit of English. Why you have people in the Commonwealth of Dominica, you call it, and they can't speak English, so how they going to translate whatever it is that's going on? I had to send it to Trinidad to find out what's going on with my... Nobody can tell me what the CT scan say. And in order for me to get it back, I had to send it to Trinidad, to someone, so they can tell me what's going on. Because they take so long for CT scan. The person could have died. You can tell me if he's a stroke he had or what. Can't you tell? I am not a medical doctor. I work with medical doctors, but I'm not. And I could tell he had a stroke. But you guys cannot tell me that is a stroke he had. So
for obvious reasons, a lot of emotions involved. Hi everyone, my name is Emonews. Some of you may know who I am, and some of you may not. My friends here, the Hamlets. So the question I have really, listening to the speakers before me, the anxiety I have really is not that a snap election is coming and not coming. I think experience is more of thought and action, and nobody's fooling nobody. My anxiety and the anxiety of a lot of people, like this lady and everybody else, really, I'm just giving to you perception is reality. The lack of division, the lack of unity, cohesiveness within United Workers Party. Very, very discouraging, and some of my friends are giving up. Right? So we know what the issues are. We know it's a depressed economy. We know there are issues with governance. We understand it. We know it. It's a lot happening right now. Gentlemen before me to give a lot happening. I'll be engaging people. But really the issue here, and I've expressed it to you, Dr. Fontaine, I expect to see in Washington, like New York, or in Toronto, and London, when the information that we're receiving is that the United Workers Party is divided. You can't win anything if you're divided. Now, don't get me wrong, there's skirmishes and everything you do, marital relationships, business relationships, certainly politics. But I am afraid to tell you that we are very discouraged. We are very discouraged at this point with the United Workers Party. Very, very blunt review. The front that's been presented right now it's not a good one, and I think for us, whether a snap election is called in December or November, wherever the gentlemen want to call a snap election, we are not optimistic that it will go the way that the majority of Dominicans want it to go, like this lady alluded to, because of the stark division. So I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not here to judge. I'm just simply telling you that perception is reality. And our reality in the diaspora is that United Workers Party is not up to the game right now. You're not on your game. Now, I understand that being in the opposition is a very daunting task. I'm not going to make any fun of that. It's very daunting. So that's pretty much all I have to say on this. I can say much more. So I would really like you guys to really address that issue. I look around and I see some of the party leadership is some of them not here. I don't know, I cannot speak for them. But we are really discouraged, and quite frankly, some of us have given up. Some of us have given up, and Dr. Fontaine, you and I talk often, and I've expressed that to you 1,000 times. Now, I know you're one man, I understand that, and everybody have to make their own decision. But it would seem to me, and it seems to a lot of people I talk with in the diaspora, that the United Workers Party is very comfortable in the opposition because of that fact. And that is fundamental.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. And all right, I'm going to say first thanks to all of you for your contributions. And you know, I share your frustrations with regards to the state of affairs in Dominica. It's one of those things that constant and having to deal with the sport, the high charges on court, and that people are forced to pay duty on personal items. You know, that is very concerning to me. Is an issue that we have discussed in the past, and it's something that I can guarantee you as a United Workers Party government we will address. I do not believe that there should be any charges, pot charges placed on personal items, food items for consumption. If it is going to be sold, that's a different thing. But anything for personal consumption should be exempt. And I hear the complaints about the opened barrels and so on. In fact, they're not supposed to open this thing before you arrive. The rule is when you get into that compound, that is when they open it before you. Because if it is open, they can place anything into it. You can be framed, you can be, so for that reason, it is supposed to be open. So that is something we need to follow up on, because the item should not be open, period. Once the person comes. Of the box opened. Wow. This is incredible. Yeah. Lost. Yeah. So that should not be, and then you're still being charged. Yeah. So that practice is wrong. Yeah, they're not supposed to be open, and that is something we can We can immediately discuss with the authorities, because that is not supposed to be happening. As I said, is your bag is supposed to be opened before you, whilst in your presence. So that is very problematic. On the state of Roseau, you know, this government has been for many years talking about they've received monies, they've gotten this and that for Roseau, and the fact of the matter is the city is depressing. I agree with you. It is extremely depressing. I took a picture recently of grass that tall in the middle of Roseau. I'm like, why is that? You know, basic things that can take us a few minutes to clean up. You know, so these things, and now you can't even already walk on the sidewalk because the stalls are there. You know, you have the stalls taking up the sidewalk, even taking up parking space. I was looking for parking space in town, and you have those tents right in the road. You can't even park now. You know, so these are issues that are simple issues, but they are very aggravating. And it's something that any concerned government should be taking care of. You know, we value the diaspora. We value people coming back in. And that has to do with the health system. We cannot have a health system as we have now in Dominica. I mean, the fact that we can't get basic medicines. And part of the problem is, again, this government, you know, all of a sudden, it seems that there is money for all sorts of things. In fact, we talked about La Plaine, and one person who was there showed me an envelope that they got on Saturday with $500, a red envelope that says "All shall eat" on one side, and I have a picture of it, and, you know, "All shall eat" and something else on the other side. But they were giving out envelopes. You can't build a country like this. And it seems that is part of the strategy to win an election. You know, you give people money and they vote for you. But at the end of the day, you have what we have here now, and that is something that really should be. It is really an indictment of this government. And after 24 years, they've not done anything to elevate Roseau. It is in the state that it is. The port is in the state that it is. The problems that people are encountering are still there. These are issues that can all be resolved. One of the things that we will do as a government is to have what we call a point person for the diaspora. There'll be somebody who will be able to, all of the issues that the diasporans have, will be able to relate to them and will find ways of tackling those. I know that these are matters that have been brought up time and time again, and very little appears to be done with it. So it's very important that we do it. The other issue that was raised, the state of the roads and the repair and those doing the repairs. We believe that the Public Works Department should be a critical part of government machinery. There must be a Public Works Department, and that is something that we'll definitely bring back as a government, because we believe that when our locals will fix in the potholes and clean the roads, we have less issues than we have now. And this will not be outsourced. This will not be outsourced. In fact, in my mind, any activity that is funded through taxpayer dollars, it should be going to the people of the country. Okay? It's not right that any government should be importing foreign workers and paying them with domestic tax revenue. That is a bad practice, and it's something that we will not do. We will not encourage it. And our focus, of course, will be on employing Dominicans. Last weekend, for example, I went to Wesley. We were in Wesley. We had a public meeting there in Wesley, and we also had a time to meet with the residents of Wesley. And I was shocked to find out that the people of Wesley were not benefiting at all from the airport. Persons who sold their lands, or whose lands were acquired by government, some have been paid. Others have been paid some of what they owed, and there are some people who have not been even given any indication of how much they will get paid. And there are people that are right in the middle, literally sitting in the middle of the airport, whose houses have to go, yet they have not been told how much. And they're sitting enduring the dust, the noise. I met one lady that is, she says she's getting asthma because of the dust. She can't go anywhere because she has not been given any money to move. It is just a complete mess, and this government does not care about the people. But the worst thing about it is that in a situation like that, the entire the entire northeastern villages should be working in the airport. You know, the Prime Minister said recently that there were over 200 Dominicans working. I was told when we were here there last week, it is down to 75. Because they have brought in an initial assignment of 300 Indonesians. And these guys they have let Dominicans go to make room for them because they are paying them much less. And they have plans to increase the number to 1,000. And these are jobs that the Dominican young people can do. You're talking about manual jobs in the airport. You're not talking about engineers. We're talking about manual labor. That is what they are bringing into the airport using the CBI monies, and the people are benefiting. So, in any way, anyhow you look at this government does not care about the people. That is something we keep trying to tell the people, to educate them. But our Dominicans are in a way, use that words very carefully. They can appear to be very simplistic, you know, in the sense that they don't seem to understand the role of government. Your government is not there to give you a handout. That's not the role of government. The role of government is to create the environment that the private sector can create jobs. The role of government is to create an environment that people can thrive and help others. It's not the government to be handing you. And if you're going to be doing that, it has to be done through a well-structured, well-organized system or welfare system where everybody benefits. But you heard the complaints about, you know, if you're not ready, if you're not supporting the government. And we saw the politics that was played with the stuff that was received after the hurricane, where it was delivered deliberately to members of the government. Even ham, you know, they introduced this business of giving ham at Christmas and ensure that it goes to their supporters. I mean, who does that? You know, so we have a lot of issues that we definitely need to say on the issue of the disunity in the party. That is something that many of you alluded to. It's something, of course, that is very concerning to me as a leader of the party. But my task, my role is to unite the party, and we continue to do that. We continue to do just that. And one of the things I've always told my party members is that the party is bigger than any single one of us. The party is bigger than Thompson Fontaine, it's bigger than James Brown, is bigger than Deborah Harris. It is bigger than any single person. And so it's very important for us to understand, and I'm glad that you guys made the point today and underline the point, that we are not in this for ourselves. We are not in this you know, because we want to big ourselves up. I mean, if I wanted to big myself up, I would be elsewhere. I would not be in this. So I am in this, and I can tell the people of Dominica that I'm in this because of my love for my country, because of my desire to give back. So this question of disunity and fighting within the party is something that we have to tackle ourselves. We have to come to grips with, and we have to be united, because as you said, that's the only way we are going to move forward and to succeed as a united party. So that becomes critically important. Let me just, the other issue that was raised about the NEP, okay? And Lottie, I see you have a question.
Okay, someone sent me a private message, and they say that they're looking on and they're liking what they are seeing and hearing. And the person question is, in the event of another snap election in Dominica in December or very soon, one, will the UWP participate? And secondly, if yes, have the party already identified possible candidates and for which constituencies?
Okay, so we have the issue of the snap election, or the concern over the snap election. Our position, our preferred position, is that no elections without reforms. And we firmly believe that we should not have another election without reform. However, if this government insists on running an election. We believe that there is enough, as I said earlier, that there is enough of a shift within the political landscape of Dominica that people will demand that the party take part because they will throw their support behind the party. Now, as part of this planning, we have, it's part of the process to be always prepared for whatever eventuality. Working on our candidates, because that's very important. But let's understand the context of the Dominican politics. Some candidates cannot reveal themselves because they are working for government, or they have a business, and if you declare too early, you can suffer the wrath of that government because they've shown to be extremely vindictive. They've shown that they will destroy you if you go against them. So that is a concern that we have, and also that also prevents us as well from sometimes getting the best candidates, because sometimes the better candidates are those who already have a secure job, who already have a position, and they know that if they were to step out, their legs will be chopped off from under them. But that is the reality that we face. So don't expect us to be publishing our 21 candidates in the newspaper next week. We will not be doing that. But I can assure the person asking the question, also the rest of Dominica, that it is such that we are working very hard to offer the best people for this. One of the concerns that I have as well, that also stress is just the size. I mean, we cannot do anything about it now. 21 constituencies in Dominica is way too much. And it's something that we have to look at when we take office in terms of the size of the size and also the disproportionate size. So you have, for example, constituencies with 500, you have others with 3,000. That should not be. There should be a more proportional representation, and that puts pressure on the government to have a big government. But we are not going to have a big government. I have already committed as the United Workers' Party government that we'll have a slimmed down government. So some of the 21 candidates will have to agree that they're not going to be ministers. Everybody cannot be a minister. Okay? And people need to understand that. There's a certain level of resources that the country has. So if you're coming into this because you want to develop your country, you want to help your country, you're not coming because you want to be a minister. So people need to understand that. All right, so that is something I've been making very clear to those who want to come in with us, that we are not going to be having 18, 19 ministers. Okay? My ideal size of a ministry for Dominica is between 8 and 10. And I'm still tending towards 8 rather than 10. Okay, but that is something that we'll develop, but that is something that I want to communicate very clearly to the Dominican public, that we'll have a slim down size of government, that the resources will be spent not on the party but on the people. Because our motto after all is people first, and we do believe that it should be people first. Because if you give people the ability to work, the ability to express themselves, to be creative, they will do things. I saw this young lady who has this export market, and how she's just blossomed over the years. Selling every single thing out of Dominica that you can think of, and making good money for it. She tells me one lady in, I believe in Woodford Hill, every week this lady gets 7,000 EC dollars in her hand, every week. She pays her 7,000 for her produce. That's just one person. So there is money to be made in agriculture, but we need to give people the opportunity. We need, as a government, to have an agriculture strategy that can help people, because a number of persons say, well, they want to go into agriculture, but they need some help. They need a little input, they need a little support, and these are things that the government can do. So government's role is not to give people this, and those, if I could get all those pay packets, I would just burn them, quite frankly. You cannot be going around, again, trying to bribe people with $500, and say, all shall eat. All shall eat, and you're giving only some. So these are issues that I think that we have to be conscious of, and we have to continue working on. I think we've gone. We are. Get another question? Yes. Okay. Let's take this.
Thank you. My name is Isaac Baptiste. I'm President of the United Workers' Party. I just want to add a couple of statements that were said by the political leader. Welcome everyone here present and those of you listening online. I'd like to make a comment about the condition of the city of Roseau. You're faced with an administration that's incompetent. They have established themselves as incompetent, and they are concentrating more on themselves remaining in office rather than the development of the country. When this administration came into office, they met detailed plans and financing for the city of Roseau to upgrade all the streets of the city of Roseau. The Kuwaiti government provided and literally came to Dominica with a check in their back pocket for $42 million to redo all the streets of Roseau and a bypass around the Botanic Gardens so that traffic that don't need to stop in the city or pass through the city of Roseau, but they are going south or north, they would bypass the city so you will not have a congestion in the city. All the sidewalks will be done, all the streets, all the drains. Remember, the Freedom Party administration did what they call a sewage system, a new sewage system in the city. And therefore they impacted all the sidewalks and the streets. And yet, United Workers' Party administration that came in 1995, recognized that we had to do all the sidewalks and redo all the streets. And that plan was prepared with a Canadian company called Diaspora International. Aptis and Associates, we are a company that do city planning and architecture. We were part of that consultancy. And unfortunately, this Labour Party administration came in and they did not see the wisdom. And 24 years after, they're now talking about going now to the Saudi Arabian government to get a loan to do not all the streets, some of the main streets in the city. Shameful. That's what they call incompetent, and do not understand the role of your capital city in the development of a country. I say to people, Dominica is beautiful from far, but far from beautiful. Meaning that when you stay far, you see it beautiful, but the closer you get to it, you recognize that the incompetence of the administration has caused deterioration everywhere. Look at the David J. Charles Boulevard. How can you take the forefront of your city, the face of your city, where you have the ocean, and just blocked it? Blocked it completely with tents and so forth. So it's incompetence that is there. Also, you find, he mentioned to you the question of an airport internationally. The United Workers' Party has absolutely no objection, and we see the need for a new airport for Dominica. In fact, we spent millions of dollars preparing plans with all the detailed plans, environmental impact statements, etc., to get an international airport for Dominica. When this administration came in, they have the right. They can decide, well, no, the site you selected is not the right site, but we are going to select another site. But you do it properly. You go according to the rules of planning, according to the rules of proper development. You cannot be doing such a major project without proper plans and detailed plans, particularly environmental impact statements in this day and age. And this is what they have done. They have decided they're taking a new site, and they're taking the best agricultural lands in the country. All reports in Dominica tell you the best agricultural land is in the exact area that you're now destroying. And you're destroying a village, a vibrant village. You, nowhere in the world, no developing bank, no developed country will finance a project where you have to compulsorily acquire property and don't ensure that the people that you have acquired the property get paid before you start the project. Here they're doing a complete reverse. And I said, I commented, Dominica don't need a 10,000-foot runway. Some of their supporters laugh and say, Baptists want a short runway. I said, no. At the time that the study was done, in 1995 or thereabout, even before that, the aircraft industry, aviation sector, was developing where for you to come across the Atlantic into these islands here, you needed 9,000, 10,000 feet runway. The technology advanced so much that today, the aircraft that needed 9,000 feet can land in 5,000 and 6,000 feet, and it's proven. Right here in Melville or right now, you have international flights coming from Miami, coming all the way from New Jersey, the new flight they just announced, coming into a 5,000, 6,000 feet runway. This is airport in the Caribbean. One of them, that is St. Martin, is just under 9,000. I'm suggesting to you what is happening at Melville Hall is not just an airport. It is more than what we call an airport for Dominica. And there is absolutely no need. We need a new airport, but what's going on here, the government is wasting the state's funds in building what they're doing. The United Workers' Party has proven its ability. It was 4.5 years we stayed in office, our ability to run a government with competence and make right decisions. And this present United Workers' Party has the competence to take this country to where it is. We will not be making decisions based on our political objectives. We will be making decisions based on the needs of the country and the advancement of the country.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Baptist. All right, closing. I don't know if there's anybody else that has anything to say. All right, so let me just express my thanks to all of you, and to those of you that were logged in online as well, and those listening to us. Thank you for your continued support. Ours, as Baptist said, is to have a government that responds to the needs of the people. And the contrast between our United Workers' Party and the current regime cannot be further. I mean, it's like night and day. A government that will continue to believe in handouts and will continue to ignore the people, and one which cares very deeply about the people of Dominica, and one that will do everything to ensure that we have good governance. I've not even spoken about the CBI program. But let me just say this as I close, as we talk about elections and not having the reforms that we need. One of the issues, one of the ways this government has been able to remain in office, even after they lost the support of the majority of Dominicans living on island, is to bring people in to vote in marginal constituencies. That is well established. That's the reason why they keep the voters list floating, so that we can come in on people's names, we can vote without voter ID cards, and they can win that way. So, in the absence of electoral reform, we want to ensure that this does not happen. So we have, as a party, we have just enlisted the support of a firm, former Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago. We have enlisted his support and his firm to actually go after the enablers of this practice. By the enablers, these are the people who come in, who look that they're not eligible to vote, who will vote either because they passed the 5-year mark, or they vote on someone else's names. We have, in fact, just put a lawsuit on the Electoral Commission, that we served on the Electoral Commission on Tuesday, basically in relation to the 2019 election, when the Roseau Central constituency, which is led by Isoso, gave them the names of individuals, specific individuals who had left Dominica over many, many years, and who had never returned to Dominica over that period. Gave them the names of persons who had died, and they did nothing. They did not move to claim the list. So we are serving them notice, and we have now given them some time to respond to that. But in future elections, we'll be going after individuals who do it. So if your name is on the list, for example, and you've never returned to Dominica for 15 years, and the first time you come back to Dominica is to vote, then you will have to face the courts. And if convicted, then we are going to go beyond that. We are going to ensure that the countries from which they come are also informed of the crime that they commit in Dominica. Because it is a criminal offense to vote in an election without being eligible to vote in that. It is a criminal conviction. And there are penalties in our laws for this kind of things. So we are not taking this lightly, we're going to act. We've spoken about it in the past, but now we have a team of lawyers that are going to be working with us. So as soon as the election is called, we'll be on the lookout and we're going after those individuals. And they will have a price to pay for continuing to defile our election process. I just wanted to add that, to let you know that we are proactive, we are getting things done. And at the end of the day, our goal is to be the next government of Dominica. And I believe that with your support and that of your families, we can accomplish this. So thank you all. Enjoy the rest of the season, and God bless you. Are you sure? There are people. It's something we certainly need to investigate. Well, flexible now also notice, but we'll certainly have to do.
And a special good day to you.
Oh yes. We have a major raffle on Saturday. The drawing is on Saturday. We have tickets available, so if you want to do this, you're happy, you're welcome to take a chance. Right, win a car for your family member. You can take it back to the States or elsewhere, but you can give it to them now. All right. Yes, we are. We are taking donations as well. You can drop them at the office and also through our uwp-dominica.com page. You can also contribute that.
And a special good day again to your lovely viewers. I'd like to thank you all for staying tuned in for today's event, that is the United Workers' Party Diaspora Meet and Greet, where the diasporans were able to voice their opinions, provided a forum from the United Workers' Party. I'd like to thank you all for staying tuned in once again, for your comments as well. And remember, Emonews, every moment online. Have yourselves a wonderful day and enjoy the season.